agenda linked, but I've also broke it down. So I want to kind of go over what we're going to do today. We are going to do teacher lesson rehearsal. We're going to do it typically like we normally do, but we're going to first go over the PLC norms, the purpose and the objective, and then I have a quick little video because I know there was some confusion on the foundational piece that we, at the very beginning, that leads into the reading decodable, which will be part of our lesson rehearsal today. And then after that, we're going to continue to practice like we normally do with our partner and just kind of go over that reading piece. And then Miss Perry is going to finish us off with an example of what a good decodable reading experience with the kids looks like. And then we're going to provide feedback, okay? So let's go for those here in a second. So our PLC norms are be present, add to the PLC conversation, and focus on solutions. And I can't ever read the yellow. Who wants to help me out there?
Come prepared.
Come prepared. Thank you. The purpose is today we are going to be doing teacher lesson rehearsal. There is the protocol in there, but you also need the lesson internalization piece part of it because this is just us practicing and making sure our first teach is our best teach. And that is our objective. Does somebody want to volunteer to read that one out?
Teachers,
Go for it.
teachers will practice a foundational skill, Unit 8, Lesson 12, ensures that teachers' time will be spent practicing high leverage elements of the lesson that will have a positive impact on student learning.
Okay. So next is our little video. It's about a minute and 15 seconds. So it's not going to take long, but this will help that clarification on that foundational piece that we were talking about, the double consonants and teaching the sound. And yes, it's a spelling pattern, but that's because they need to associate that spelling pattern with this sound because they're going to be decoding in their books. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully it works. All right, let me make it bigger. Is my sound on?
Double letter spellings and 4 tricky words. Let's go. We're introducing 14 double-letter consonant spellings here.
This is for the whole unit.
Kids will spot them easily since they're in bold. Now notice how these double letters almost always pop up right after a short vowel sound. A quick heads up, spellings like and t use 2-syllable examples not found in the reader. Reading these, super easy, but spelling gets tricky. Like, is egg spelled with 1 G or 2? Here's the awesome part. The guide says to accept any plausible spelling. No need for perfection yet. That literally means you can celebrate a kid writing B-L-A-K just as much as B-L-A-C-K. Aside from spelling,
So why do you... Stop talking.
Kindergartners during this unit.
Okay.
Watch for kids guessing.
All right. So why do you think that's important right now? Is it
Sounds.
focused on our spelling?
No, just on sounds.
Okay. And then I know that's confusing because it does have the spelling alternative pattern when they associate that sound with the actual letter formation. So that is a quick little kind of misconceptions that we've had to clarify. Does that help at all?
Do you know why they did it?
Why they do what?
Why did they add spelling to that?
Okay, so before they would say, really the teak is the letter corresponds with what sound. So when we go and decode it in our book, we can break it apart by the sound and we can recognize it. Because we do decoding and sounds, phonemic awareness, decoding, and then it goes to the spelling. They can still spell, but it's not mastered in kindergarten on this skill. It continues all the way up to 2nd and 3rd grade.
Just to introduce them to the vocabulary.
Right.
I guess.
It's mainly the sound. Now we're going to go back and we're going to do our partner lesson rehearsal. This seemed to help us kind of get our nerves out when we started teacher lesson rehearsal, and y'all have been great at it. So the decodable reader part of your lesson 12 is what we're going to be looking at. And I want y'all just to take and partner up like we typically do, and you're going to give feedback. But before we go over that, let's go over these norms for feedback. Y'all made these other ideas or tricks, positive, no judgment, and you have right here, there is some sentence stems that you can use to provide good and accurate feedback. Try to give a praise and maybe a polish that they can work on as well. And then we are gonna do this for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna let Miss Perry come up here, and she's gonna be our showcase today. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
And if
Here,
you need it, Miss Perry provided everything for us if you want to just look.
Okay, that'll work actually.
Oh,
And I-
okay.
she aside.
That'd be work. Perfect. So no.
She has a book. Thank you. So, what I'll have is, what I'm going to do is in my big book, this will be on the whiteboard. So, this will be on my slides. And, we did it today where we go down and they say, okay, let's look through your book, they all have their own book. And we're gonna find this word, Mac. And so they'll say, okay. And so all of the CK words, I'm going to use my highlighter tape in my big book. And we're gonna highlight all of the CK words yellow. They're gonna tell me what page they're on and we're gonna do it. And then we'll go through the whole book and do all of the CK words, or the whole story. And then we'll move to the double F words and we'll do those all green. So that when we come to them in the story, we can say, oh, why did we highlight this one? And they can say, oh, it's because it ends in a CK or ends in an FF, ends in an LL, whatever it is, whatever it is. So that's what we're gonna do for that one.
I really like how you broke it up by like the sound and like doing that first and then that. Instead of just going, hey.
Yeah, we have to figure out something else because I don't have highlighter tape, so. This isn't until Tuesday.
Yeah.
But, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the vocabulary words. I'm gonna highlight those all orange, so that when we come to them, I can say, okay, well, why is this one highlighted orange? It's because it's a vocabulary word. So that's how I'm going to preview the vocabulary and all the direct spellings or whatever. Then in my reading,
I like that.
so the way that I'm going to do it, and I did it with my class today, and they seem to catch on with it better, is, I saw this video and it's really cool. It's like, when you read a sentence, instead of just saying, echo me, Sam sits in this class. The class does, they say each word 3 times. Sam, sits, and then the class. So they say Sam, sit. And it helps them like, what did I write? So they read each sentence, each word 3 times, then they read the sentence. The kids clap as I point to the words in the big book. It's accuracy, it helps accuracy before speed. So they repeat each word 3 times to strengthen decoding, and repetition builds accuracy for automatic decoding. So it's like, sit.
That was my hope, is that we could see how the reading connects to that foundational piece that was.
Class, and then we put it together. Sam sits in this Max class. And then we do the same thing with the next sentence. Today, they liked the activity, and then they seem to be a little bit better. I had more kids, actually doing the reading as a class versus
So even
some
when
of them
we're
just
sitting
sitting.
there,
Okay, I'm gonna try that. And then for this last part, the wrap up,
when I do that, I do like
I did it today also where I asked the question, and they answer the question, but then they have to tell me the page number in the sentence that they, like, it basically is like text evidence, like, how did you find that answer? And it's the text, they use text evidence
and then we're gonna
on page
We're gonna find
48, to know
focus on
it
what
was
actually
this
happened
sentence,
instead
whatever.
I like that. So that becomes your read aloud.
So then the last part, I'm gonna have them partner read for 10 minutes, and then I do funny voices. So like, I'll do like an old man, and then they'll repeat me as an old man, and then I'll do like a little girl, and then they repeat me as a little girl. For each like page, we do like one voice, and they really like that. They ask me every day, can we do funny voices? And so I'll do like
Is it Miss Sam was on the
And then they'll repeat it. And they just giggle and it's funny, so.
I mean, like,
Tell
well,
me
like,
their
Sam
minds.
was in the class, B, Sam wasn't in the class, C, like that.
So I came up with
I think he was in,
That's still everything you do.
I like that. Like giving them options. I love that.
Are you leaving your books in your class?
Yes,
worked on
I'm
handwriting.
using yours.
This is handwriting.
I am, you know, say I am.
The one thing that I
This
did,
is a
well,
D. I said, no, baby, this is a B.
you'll come into it where I wrote my kids' names down.
The first, it was the
So
end,
if my
yeah,
kids
yeah,
come
yeah.
To
in,
clarify any misconceptions.
I mean,
I'll adapt.
it is what it is. Swat it out,
Yeah, that's it.
but yeah.
So they still haven't got contract.
When y'all interview, or when y'all do this, do you have
Okay. I always ask the questions, but I didn't think about doing this.
Well, I was struggling.
Well, it
with
also helps
comprehension
them,
for mine, and
like it
that's
helped
why
mine
I
today,
asked
making sure
a
that they
question
answered
per
it in a
page.
complete sentence
Yeah.
versus just
By the
saying
time
the
we got to
band.
the-
Well,
the
like, they
story,
said today,
I was like, so what
on
happened?
the bus, they were like, I said, well, why was mom on the
And I'm like, well,
bus?
let me
And they said,
break it down per page so that they can
the van
start.
was in the 60th section. And I was like, okay, well, what page? And they said 44. And
No,
I
I
was
love
like,
your
Yeah,
idea.
that's, I never thought about doing that.
Yeah, the little, yeah.
So, yeah. I didn't think about making them find the words in the book.
so I made the mistake, the first time I did it, I gave them all highlighter tape and they did it and it took forever. So I said, instead, I'll do the highlighting in the big book and they will find it and tell me where it's at or what word.
Yeah.
So,
And she had a good idea. Like,
ABC.
yes.
I like it. I love
Look, I wrote
that.
that
I
down.
like
I know, I
that.
wrote it down too. Those are good.
And
and there's enough of these strip colors for them to.
These,
Okay.
like the little literary
If y'all will come back to us for just a second, hopefully y'all got to talk through of how you would teach it and things that you would do. But we're gonna have Miss Perry come up here and do the beginning of the introduction and of the story and how she teaches it. And then I want y'all to be very specific on what you know that she's doing that you haven't tried or that you have tried. And what is some good solid feedback of what you liked that you may want to incorporate in your room and what is something that she could tweak to make it even better, okay? And then after that, I went around and I was being nosy because I was writing ideas down. If you want to share some ideas, we'll talk about it during our share time, okay? All right, Miss Perry.
mic'd up. Get me mic'd up. What I need to do.
Is that good? Are they neat? All right.
Okay, so, what I planned, grab this already. So what I planned, I love the big book, actually, guys. I know some people don't like them, but some people do, and that's all right. You know, whatever you like, friend. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, all three of them. So, when I do my lesson, I normally have the anchor charts already ready for them so that they can refer back to them. But it also says a review, but I don't think that I wouldn't start off with a review. And only the reason why I say that is because I want them to actually listen to the story first. And then because oftentimes when I'm reading the story, they're like, oh, that's a diagraph, Miss Perry, oh, that's a this, that's a that. If we've just talked about it. So I don't want them to like interfere with what we've already talked about to try to get them focused back on the story. So so I feel like the review part needs to happen after the fact. So I normally switch that. And so what I go over the book and I first say, okay guys, let's talk about the parts of a book. And so we kind of go over the parts of the book, like this is the front of the book, and everybody say this is the
Cover.
this is the back of the book, this is the spine of the book. All right, and then we have also our title page. And so we go over our title page. And then I say, oh, this is the title page because it has the title of the book on it. And then I go to my table of contents. And I'm going to say, everybody, what is this called? The
Table of contents.
Contents.
Okay, so once I do that, I go over, this is the table of contents. And the way you can find the story that we're looking for is I'm going to sound out the words. I'm going to segment, and you're going to blend. So the sounds, I'm going to say the sounds, and you're going to blend it. Everybody say, Miss Perry's going to segment.
Miss
Perry's gonna segment.
And I'm going to blend.
And I'm
going to
All
blend.
right, so we're looking for the word s, Everybody say s,
Sam.
Sam. All right, and then the next word I want you to listen to,
In.
Good job. And then the last word is class. Class. So we're looking for Sam in class. So I'm going to go down my list. I see Sam, but does that say
No.
No. So we're going to go on down. Let's see. I see but does that say
No.
No, let's go on down. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
class.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to go over, and we're going to find the
48.
page 48. 4 and an 8. And then we're going to go to the page. But you don't go yet in your book. I'm not giving you your book. Nobody has books. Because I want them. I want y'all to focus on the story first. Okay? So then I'm going to go to the page 48. Sorry, guys. Get to page 48. Because this is a lot easier. All right, now. So, Miss Perry's going to blend, and I'm going to segment, and you're going to blend. All right? So Miss Perry's going to segment.
Miss Perry's gonna segment.
And you're going to blend.
And we're gonna blend.
Ready?
Sam.
In
Class. Everybody say Sam.
Sam.
Class. Good job. Ready?
Sam.
Sits.
In.
In.
Is.
Miss.
Max.
Max. Max.
Class.
Class.
So let's read it. Ready? Sam
Sam
sits in Miss Max class. All right, so what did Sam do?
He sat
And what else did he do?
in class.
He went to class. So let's look at this picture. Do we know who Sam is? We already met Sam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at this picture. So we know, because the picture looks like he's where? All right, so he's in class. So we're going to use also the picture to describe what's going on in the story. Okay, so that's what I would do, and then we begin to choral read. And I want everybody to choral read with me. And so what I'm going to do is read this first page, and then I'll go into what we're going to do next. Right, y'all
So you
ready?
just segment and blend the title in one sentence.
Right.
And then you move into this. Okay.
Right, and then we move into choral reading. All right, so y'all ready? All right. What's that tricky word?
The
The or the. Ready? Kids will print till class ends. All right, so what will the kids do?
print
And when class what?
ends.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Ready?
Then the
What's that tricky word?
The
The bell will ring. Then the bell will ring. What will the bell do?
It's gonna ring.
Okay, let's go
Then
to the
they're going
next
home.
one. Ready? Sam will run and jump in, what's that tricky word? The pond. So Sam will run and jump in the pond. What will Sam do?
Go jump in the
Run.
pond.
Run and what else?
Jump.
In the what?
Pond.
So, does that have anything to do with class?
No.
Think in your brains. I want you to think in your brains. I wonder why they put that there. We're going to figure this out, and we're going to find out what happens in this story. Okay? So, what I want you to do first is I want you to use your table of contents. I want you to try to find your story. Not yes, yet, Miss Eddington. I want you to find your story in the book, and Miss Perry is going to pass out magnifying glasses. And I want you to find a digraph, a tricky word, and a double consonant blend. So remember, look at our chart. I want you to find a double consonant sound. I want you to find a tricky word. And what's one more thing I said I want you to find? Who remembers?
A diagram.
A digraph. Good job, Ms. Cloud. Yeah, so everybody say, all right, say it with me. Everybody say first.
First,
We're gonna find our story
find our
in
story.
the table of contents.
Table of
Table of
contents.
contents.
Second,
Second,
we're gonna find
we're gonna find
a consonant sound, a
consonant
double consonant
sound,
sound,
double consonant sound,
a tricky word,
a tricky word,
and a digraph.
and a diagram.
Diagram.
All right, we're gonna stay on page 48.
48.
All right, don't leave that page, and we'll come back. All right,
Can we go?
So then now they're gonna use
yes,
their.
now you're gonna
notebooks,
use
okay.
your little books. Now I'm gonna bring you a magnifying glass. Oh, you already had one, friend. They passed these out to you already. Thank you.
There's a tricky word.
And I would set a timer
There's a double.
on how much time they had to find these items. So I give y'all
1 minute.
yeah, I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute to find the items. I'm probably a little longer. Oh, that would be a good suggestion.
We
could.
To see what.
Yes, that could be.
Yeah,
Look,
hold it
yes,
with a certain point.
they could find it. Ooh, that's good. Find it on their whiteboard. Find it on a sticky note. I love all that. Yes, they can. We can do that.
What do you do?
All right, your minute is up. Now, I'm gonna put you in partners, and I want you to share the digraph you found, the double consonant, and I also want you to share your tricky word that you found with your partner. I'm gonna give you 1 minute to share.
That's not that.
That's my
I
tricky
found
word.
Oh, okay. Okay, there is then, there is till,
Do I need to-
and there is the. Okay.
Done. We do. There's 50 of them. I have like each one for each one for like N, G, S, H. Yeah, I do have
Mine
this.
will break them too.
They broke 3 of them. Oh, here's NG.
Oh, yeah, NG.
There's like 5 of
They
them.
have.
Because we have like, also, big chart. All right, your time is up. Now, what I would do would take up the magnifying glasses because I feel like that's gonna be a distraction. And everybody and their grandmama gonna have to help me with that. And so that would be, I would take up the magnifying glasses and then I would have them read it to a partner. And as they would read to the partner, I would go ahead and give them the questions that I'm gonna be looking for so that they can be looking for them as well. And so the first question that I liked was, the kids will it's a literary question. It says, what will the kids do till class ends? So, giving them that, I say, so I'm gonna be looking for this question, friends, and the question is, what do you think Sam wants to do when the bell rings? Or what will the kids do till class ends? So those would be the two questions I would say. And then Miss Perry's gonna ask you the answer to these questions after you read it with your partner. And so they would read, and then I would ask them the questions.
To see if you understand.
Yeah, to see who understood the story. And then they would have to show me where they found it in the book. So once they said, oh, yeah, show me where they found it in the book. So once you say, oh, Sam wants to go to the pond after the book, oh, that's why he was thinking about the pond in the beginning of the story. And kind of bring it all back full circle. So that's, I would definitely make them show me and say, okay, what page, show me where did you see what Sam really wanted to do and after the bell rings. So that's what I would do, guys.
Thank you, Miss Perry.
Thank you.
So, we'll go ahead and kind of go over the end and.
Oh, we're switching.
Just kind of a question for you. What are the takeaways? I'm so sorry. I skipped the feedback. Just give, if you want to write it on a sticky note because you don't want to share it, let's give her praise in her so she can be proud of herself.
Yeah. And I
For
do
that.
I do want your pointers. I like
So
that.
if you.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to share some feedback with Ms. Perry that could help, or something that you're going to steal, I stole some ideas. Let's have that conversation now.
So like today, when I did the read aloud, they kept wanting to read it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first read, I want to read it like you said, where they're just like enjoying the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'm gonna incorporate that more because it is very hard to get them to not do what we've been teaching them and wanting them to do.
To read.
But comprehension is so important, and they need to learn to read, to continue to read because they love to read.
I'm with you.
So I really like that.
Thank you. Well, I was in the beginning of the decodables, a lot of mine wouldn't be able to comprehend what was happening from each part of the story, and that's really why I break down each part of the story, because they were not comprehending what was happening, and I'm like, okay, so what happened with Sam? They're like, I don't know, and so I learned like I need to break it down for them to understand. Okay, let's think. Oh, well, what happened? Okay, well, what did we just read?
Really
Yeah.
walking through the story, and with giving them the comprehension questions first, like it makes the purpose of reading
Establishes the purpose of it.
way better than the snippet where it tells us to say. So,
Right.
like, you're making the meaning even deeper.
Got it.
I like when you give them something like, first we're doing this, like on one page.
Got it.
And so, first we're doing this, second we're doing this, third doing that. So you're not giving them a whole lot.
Bunch of stuff. Thank you.
Great chunking. I do like the fact that you did the review piece
Yeah.
after you did your introduction of the story and had them more focused, because I didn't think of that before, because in the book it says do it
Review first, yeah.
But it does make it a little bit more interactive and have that discourse available. Is there anybody that was?
But I probably would, like on each page, I would probably do something different. I probably wouldn't do double letters, tricky words, and digress
I'm
on the
with
same
you.
page.
I agree.
I would probably do like one page, do this.
Do
one,
double
the
letters,
second
one page, do tricky word.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I think one
I
little thing I
probably
would tweak would be when you tell them what the three things you're looking for, have them have a way to mark it and hold it, because what if they find it early, but everyone else is still working, and then when you bring them back, they may have lost it.
Got it.
And so a sticky note or writing it on the whiteboard or something like that, just a way, but also holds them accountable, the group work accountable, the time that you're giving, that you're allowing for them to do the task, so that there's some kind of, I don't wanna say output, cause that's not the right, product or some way of you knowing that they really.
And that
Like
leads
little
to
proofs,
those
yeah.
anecdotal notes that
Right.
we are taking in a checklist for the comprehension pieces, but you're going around and giving feedback and listening as they do it. So those are all great things. I think that you kind of answered that question of what are the takeaways. Is there anything else that you may need further clarification on, or do we understand now how that foundational skills, sound, and letter correspondence aligns to the reading of the decodable? That was the goal, so I think we achieved that. And then we're almost done with this one. Hopefully, well, I probably should put it in slideshow, huh? Here we go. We already did that. Okay, so for next week, you already know what we're going to do. We're going to combine PLCs and do some fun little gallery walks around school, and y'all are going to teach everybody, all of us, some new ideas for next year. Kind of get us going. That is it.
Thank you.